Hey everybody, and welcome to Bills Talk Online today. Coming to you from downtown Buffalo. My name is Mike Martinez. Alongside of me,
Spencer Tobin.
Hi everybody, Paul Crowley, how you doing?
okay. And this week we got quite a range of subjects to talk to you about, topics, and we're gonna start off today with the Bills season tickets. Spencer,
Yeah,
take us
we
away.
got some record-breaking sales. Finally, the Bills are looking like they're the real deal. The fans are believing it too. They sold 60,000 tickets, season tickets, roughly, and that's the cap. Actually, I got the number right here. Pardon me, just one moment here. The actual number as of yesterday, from what I heard, was 57,500, which blows away last year's. Obviously, last year's like 47,000. And then you got the highest at the point that held the record. So from 1992 was 57,100. So we got.
Yeah, all right, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all right.
There were too many numbers, huh?
Too many numbers, man.
1992 was a long time ago, but we were pretty good back then, I think.
Yeah, I'd say we're okay.
Right in the stretch of our Super Bowl run, when of course the Bills were hot around town, when you saw everybody wearing the uniforms, wearing the starter jackets, wearing the sweatshirts. Hopefully that will continue, and looking forward to that season to start. I'm one of those 57,500 people, Spencer, so I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Good for you, man. It's the way to be.
I'm definitely excited for the season, and it just goes to show how excited the fans are. And one thing that I've always said, a lot of people down Buffalo as being a small market. We're not so much a small market, but we're a wise market, and unfortunately, we're a workers' market. And
Fortunately. Not unfortunately.
fortunately, yes, depends on which side you're looking at it. But we don't have the money here in Buffalo to just go and blow. But if you put a viable product on the field, we will be there to support it 100%. And this just goes to show it. The Pagulas came in, they made all these moves. They're showing that they're taking the team in the right direction. And what do the fans do? We support the man.
Back it up.
That's right.
Yeah, we back him up, and
Hopefully it comes through.
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely brought a lot of players in. It's definitely going to be a lot more fun to watch Bills football this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, next we're going to talk about some of the free agent moves this week. Nothing really huge to write home about. Maybe just some more depth, more competition. But we got Andre Fluellen, first of all, defensive tackle from the Detroit Lions, who's free agent. We brought him on in. But he's a decent player. You guys want to talk about him a little bit? What do you got?
I think he's got an opportunity to make the team. I don't see him playing much with what we already have to offer, but it's always a good problem to have some competition at the defensive line, because everybody knows that that's a spot that you could typically get injured at in the NFL, and having the next man up is always something that teams that win seem to do. So hopefully we can have some more depth and see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think what's good about it is if he does make the team, it's going to give a lot of rotation to keep the defensive, what's the word I'm looking for? To keep
Fresher.
Yeah. Thank you. To keep them fresher and stuff like that, rotating a lot of people in and out. But the core is still the core, and any spots available after that are going to be very limited.
Well, Rex did say you can't have enough good players, and one of the other things to show that he can't is we brought another tight end this week. Who's got his name for me?
Give me 1 second because I just had it. Matthew Mulligan.
Matthew Mulligan.
Matthew Mulligan, former Jets tight end. He played in 2009. Played 3 seasons with them. Again, it's more depth. More depth. It's going to be a hell of a fight. That's why I can only imagine what it's like to be in the OTAs and the mini camps right now.
Yeah.
Because everybody is fighting for the positions. I think there's only maybe the offensive line who's somewhat solidified and stuff like that. But we'll get back to that in a couple of seconds.
Some more Rex guys, though.
Yeah, definitely. They're even starting to say there's an article that just came out by Vic Carucci, I believe it was, talking about how Rex is intent on getting the same Jets team that he had in 2009 or 2012 on the field. But that's all. That's all filler talk. and stuff like that. Rex is just looking for consistent guys. And if he's had guys, of course, he was the Jets coach, so he's going to have guys that he's familiar with.
Yeah,
come over.
makes sense.
It's
They
the
have
same
another
thing when
coach.
you do coaching. When
Yeah.
when you hire a new coach, they bring
got
over
your
their
guys.
coaches.
You got
your
your
guys.
Well, next we're going to hit up something nice that happened this week. Andre Reed, Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. He was there for the Super Bowl runs all 4 years. Everybody is quite familiar with him. However, he's coming back now as a coach. He's got an internship going on, and he's got the green light to jump in and kind of take charge and help out and give advice. How do you guys feel about Reed coming back to town?
It's a great story. A guy went to Kutztown State, was a no-name college, and had an opportunity to not only play in the NFL but shine. Great deep threat for Jimbo in the glory years, but he was also a guy who wasn't afraid to go across the middle. He'd have a lot of catches on the road. I can remember a lot of big plays that he made while he was on the Bills, and if he can bring that underdog attitude to the table, he could certainly help some of our younger receivers get over the top and become threats in this league themselves.
Mike, who do you think Andre Reed's going to have the biggest influence on as far as a receiving core? Anyone jump out that might he'll just take under his wing and has that ability to kind of play his style?
Most people would say Watkins, but I don't think that'd be the person. I think who may shine most with Andre Reed's tutelage might actually be Hogan.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Reed wasn't the most talented guy, but he's a hard worker. He's a worker, and he's a mechanic of the position. He didn't play the position.
And you mean as compared to like Rice and all the Tim Brown kind of guys?
Exactly. He was, he didn't have that raw talent, but his route running was impeccable, and his heart was,
brave. He was brave.
Go right across the middle like nothing.
Yeah.
And his ability to catch the ball, we all know he was on top of it.
Yeah.
So I think Hogan would benefit the most. I'm actually very excited to see Andre Reed here on the sidelines. I hope, just because you're a great player does not mean you're going to be a great teacher. Hopefully he will be.
Absolutely.
I think Robert Woods has got the best opportunity to learn simply because they're built the same. Woods has certainly demonstrated the ability to take a hit going across the middle, and he's tough. So I don't know. Hogan's going to have a hard time playing a lot of downs on the field this year just because of how deep we are at wide receiver. But we'll see what happens. I think that it's a good problem to having Andre Reed in your locker room and there to help the young guys succeed for sure.
I've been hearing some great things about Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard his routes have gotten even sharper.
They're wearing gym clothes. We'll see what happens when they're wearing pads.
Well, they actually Woods and Hogan have been the number 1 and 2 receivers since Percy's still kind of getting used to everything here, and obviously Watkins is slowly working his way in. But that brings us to minicamp.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about minicamp here, starting with the O-line. Sounds like it's, at least on paper for now, we got a depth chart. We got a solidified line. And who won right tackle? Who won it?
Cyrus had an opportunity to come in and win the job. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got to offer. His attitude has certainly changed since he had such a difficult time last year. And I really think that, learning this new system and having an opportunity to start fresh was good for him in the second year after he struggled in his rookie year. So we'll see what happens. I think Quanjo's got an opportunity to do really well in this league. He's a big boy. Everyone knew he came in hurt last year, but still was able to get on the field. Just wasn't very productive, and hopefully we can see a change there this season.
I see the offensive line better than everyone's expecting them to be.
Yeah.
I definitely do. I think we got a staple at center with Woods. I think Incognito is a great pickup. It's a second chance like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's a second chance in the league, and he's gonna give it his all. We already know all of his secrets, all of everything's out of the closet. So in a sense, he could actually start fresh. And he was a dominant. He was a Pro Bowl guard wasn't he? Was he
Yeah.
not?
I think it was Pro
With
Bowl.
the Dolphins, he was
With the Dolphins, he was a Pro Bowl guard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's gonna. I think he's maybe a little bit humbled. Sometimes it takes a little smack in the backside to wake you up. And I think by being shunned from the league for that year, I think hopefully brought him back to his senses.
Well, I think we're actually going to talk about him a little later in the show, but let's get on him now. We're the topic's hot for him right now. He is a guy who recognizes it's a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
It's his second chance with the Bills too. Obviously, Paul, you alluded that earlier before the show started. But I think he's gonna maybe really surprise some people because it's.
Rex wanted a bully. Rex wants to be a bully, and Richie Incognito is a bully. And look at everyone who's. I'm not going to say that I played in the NFL, but the mentality that goes in with that. What he did was wrong. He belittled the guy. I understand that, but everybody also needs that rah older brother mentality in football. And if Richie can learn from his mistakes and get out on the field and say to guys like Quanjo, hey, look, dude, this is what I did wrong. I can show you how you can, not make the same choices that I did and become a better player for it. And I think that he has the talent. He was an all-pro player. But now, let's see if you're a leader, not just a great player on the field.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. A few other things to talk about with minicamp going on. The QBs. 1 week, Rex is saying he's disappointed with the QBs. Another week.
I don't mean to cut you off. I
Sure.
just wanted, before we even got to the QBs, I did want to take a real quick touch on
What?
on the person that was just eliminated from our screen a couple seconds ago. A little bit too early.
Richie Incognito?
The tackle we just signed.
Nah.
But Wayne Hunter, second oldest player on the team. More depth at tackle, more battling for the position. I wouldn't have brought him up if I would have known when I looked back at the screen he would have been gone, because it's not that big of a deal. I just wanted to make sure we all covered all areas since we were talking.
No, it's good. Good to bring him up.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk QBs. The performance. Rex is disappointed with him. He's not happy. Then they start really turning around. I think maybe Rex belittled him, got him to play a little bit better. And then the last day, let me put it this way. On the first day, it looks like EJ was looking great. The other two guys weren't bad. And then the last day, it turns out that EJ's the star, and the other guys were kind of taking a small step back there. You guys got any input on the QBs?
They're still in gym clothes. I'm going to keep saying it until it's time for minicamp and they put the pads on. But look, and I'm glad to hear that they're learning the system and they're not being made to look foolish by a great defense. I mean, obviously, you got to make a lot of reads, and things are much quicker when they're not, when the game's going. But this is an opportunity to see what they got, how far they can throw it, how smart they can be. What's really matters to me is when we put the pads on, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the quarterbacks go, I kind of pretty much agree with you. What I've noticed is, you could say, today EJ did good. Yesterday Tyrod did good. Castle did good. On another day. You know what I mean? So everybody's just getting their little time to shine. Nothing's set in stone. The producer is making it a point to bring up Jason Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not too sold on it.
I would never be sold on it.
I'm not too sold on it
I
at
say
all.
don't even bring him.
We got what we got. Let's go with it right now. I don't see him coming in and being a be-all, end-all, so I even bother.
So with him bringing in Liner, it's just if you brought him in, it'd just be a short flash in the pan.
Someone got hurt or something like that during the preseason, maybe, but it
Right.
doesn't make much sense right now.
Right.
At this point, these are our guys.
Yeah.
These are our guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, also going on at minicamp, Watkins starting to slowly get his feet wet again.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving him some 11 drills. They're maybe catching some screens, things like that. Nothing big, but he's starting to work his way in. Is he going to be ready to go by preseason, or you guys think it's going to be a week 1 game time decision, or?
I think they made that mistake last year. I think they should have sat him out and let him heal up for the regular season. He had that hip problem in the beginning of the year, and it was something that bothered him for pretty much the entire season, and he still had good numbers. I think he may even have learned from his own mistakes not to push it. Even if he was to get in some regular season reps, preseason reps, I just don't think that it's even worth it right now. I think he's our main guy on as far as receivers go, and why take the chance, especially coming off some off-season surgery like that?
I agree. I think there was a little bit of politics involved last year. Your your first round draft pick that you gave up 2 number ones for. They pushed him on the field.
I think that's ridiculous that they did that, though.
I agree.
I mean, why?
I agree.
I don't know.
Look who we had coaching.
You're right.
Enough said.
Yeah. Enough said. Yeah, exactly it.
Everybody's heads were on the plate, I think, at the beginning of the season
Yes.
before any decisions were really made on ownership and things like that.
Right.
So, yes, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, they needed to make a big splash, but at the same time, let's let them make a splash during the regular season and not during the preseason.
I agree with you. Sometimes, as we've learned, coaches don't always make the right decision. Look what happened with RG3 when Shanahan, made him play. He definitely should not have been playing.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll, Super Bowl, stupid play.
Oh yeah, not running with Lynch. A
Not
lot
running
of bonehead plays.
A lot of bonus. So
coaches make,
coaches don't always make the right decisions.
They're human too. But
They're human.
Yeah. For some reason, the fans always get it right on.
What do we got next, kid?
All right, we got Rex Ryan and Herm Edwards, both coach of Jets. Irrelevant, doesn't matter. They both think the Bills are going to make the playoffs this year. And do you guys agree? Do you think they're just kind of hyped up from all the excitement, or do you think the Bills are legit?
Go ahead, Michael.
I think we're legit, but everything's just a ball swat away from the difference between winning a game or not. We went 9-7 last year. Easily could have been 10-6, 11-5. Hopefully,
Should have been 8-8.
could have been 8-8. Exactly, it could have went that way too.
Yeah.
Exactly. This year, I think the quarterback play is the variable. I think the quarterback play is the variable between whether we're an 8-8 team or a 10-6 team.
I think everybody knows that. There's no. We're going to be tough at home. We're going to make mistakes at the quarterback position, and we're going to be in every game. And there wasn't really any blowouts last year. There really wasn't. We had opportunities to win, and I don't see this team being much different than we were last year. And of course, if Tyrod Taylor comes in and is our savior or something crazy like that happens, sure. But they're going to man the ship. They're going to be in the hunt, and it's going to be exciting for us. But I don't see us having much success in the playoffs unless we do get a quarterback that can get it done.
Well, having success and making the playoffs are two different things. I agree exactly 100% what you're saying. I do think that the another big key difference would be is we had a couple college coaches last year in Marone and Kent Hackett. What was his name? Hackett and we got Greg Roman now. We got Rex. So hopefully their experience can help get us over that hump. And some of the some plays that were in play calls that were made at crucial times were not very good. And hopefully with the experienced coaching staff that we have, we'll make wiser decisions.
Absolutely. Let's move on to something that's just around the corner. Training camp is St. John Fisher is getting ready. The Bills will be there. The Pads will be there. And you know what else is going to be there?
The fans.
The fans.
Yes.
We want to look at this from a perspective of the fans. What's great about going to the training camps other than just watching the players, run some routes?
I've been going to training camp for almost 25 years. I went out to Fredonia. 30 years. I went when I was a kid with my dad and my brother, and a couple of my buddies watched Andre and Jimbo out there, and then of course have made the trip to Rochester many times. Actually, a couple of years ago, the PGA Championship was going on the same time the Bills were practicing down at Fisher. So it was, a two-bird with one stone trip.
Yeah.
There's so much to do down there. It's a great town, and of course, going and watching the Bills is is a great experience. It's a college stadium, a small college stadium, but there's so much going on when you've been there. I don't know if you boys have been there before, but they have the NFL fan experience stuff there. Of course, they have one of the most incredible gift shops you'll ever see for Bills merchandise, and you get close. You get as close as you can pretty much be. If you were going and watching a high school game, it's pretty much the same type of an experience as far as being able to get close. And it offers a great opportunity to get autographs and things like that, and something that I did when I was a kid. I mean, it's great for kids, and it's great for huge Bills fans like guys like me too.
Big kids like us too.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, just the fact that we have the team that we have right now. It's going to be a lot of energy there. It's going to be a lot of fans there that are just excited and can't wait to see everything start to gel together. And all we can do is hope that that we do and have something for them the fans to be happy about.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. It's a good time. Make it down if you can.
Kids love it.
Kids will love it. Adults will love it. It's a nice, relaxing atmosphere. You just get to get a good preview of what's to come this season.
Dinosaur barbecue down there too, Spence. Not too far away.
I love the dinosaur.
Well, we got it here now.
Yeah,
but
right now.
It's one of the originals, baby.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk about the Bills are finally getting these season ticket sales going through the roof. Does that mean, the new stadium, is this a good excuse for them to go outlandish and just kind of just build something amazing and maybe the envy of the league, and obviously then have to charge big time ticket prices too? Or what do you guys feel about the new stadium? How will that impact things for the fan, for yourself, or even the Bills' image around the league?
I'm excited. I've been waiting for a new stadium closer to Buffalo. The site hasn't been 100% selected. New stadium's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah.
The league wants it, the city wants it, the owners want it. It's gonna happen. Hopefully, I love Orchard Park. I've grown to love it. It's a 10-minute drive, so it's not 15-minute drive, so it's not too far.
Not on game day, it's not.
On game day, you gotta leave nice and early if you want to get there. But I mean,
I got you, brother.
Wherever we go, wherever they put it, the game day, you're gonna have to leave early because even if they bring it to the city, I think it's gonna be a little bit more hectic.
Sure.
Definitely, but
that's what they want.
But that's what they want, and just to sit there and from an aerial view, have the Bills Stadium right there next to the hockey rink, right there next to the Bison's field. It's something to get a little excited about.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty picture, and it's gonna be really good for the businesses down there too.
I think that it's all been set in stone long ago. I think that they knew exactly where they were going to do it and when they were going to do it. The lease doesn't go out for a long time. They just made some serious adjustments out at the Revs.
Oh, and how many millions did they just put into it?
I don't know exact numbers, but I'll tell you this. It was enough to make a huge difference. People noticed immediately. Right. The Concords are much better. The entrance in the way in is much better. And what they were really trying to do and cut down on the boozing is much better too. Of course, you get some youngins in there that are going to have a good time, but it's such a different experience. And if they can take that and transport it downtown, that would be lovely. But I'm telling you right now, boys, when it does come, yes, it's something to be excited about, but ticket prices are going to be through the roof.
Yes.
Down there is blowing up, and it's going to turn when you play Monopoly. Yes. And you have property, and you build your hotels, you build as many as you possibly can because that means more people are going to have a chance to be going through there. Mm-hmm. It's a gold mine, and as soon as that stadium goes up, I promise you that it will be the envy of the league, and it will be, imagine this, boys, the AFC Championship halfway through January in our new stadium on Lake Erie with a snowstorm rolling in.
Ooh,
think about that.
Love it.
Think about
awesome.
that. Think about that.
I will say one thing. I will miss the Ralph. How many years I've been a fan of Buffalo since I moved to Buffalo in '77.
Don't worry, we'll let you take your wheelchair up there when they finally build it up there, buddy.
But as a painter, one of the companies I was contracted with, we used to paint the Ralph every year. Cool. So I used to be there on the downtime, sitting there in the 50th on the 50-yard line, just looking at everything, and I had the opportunity to go into the players' locker rooms when it was empty, and so I do have like this little, bond with the stadium and stuff like that. I love looking at it every year.
We all do.
Those.
Sure.
You know what I actually had to do? You walking up the stairs, getting to your seat.
Mm-hmm.
Every other stair they had that number.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go every other seat and stencil that darn number.
That was you.
Good.
That was me. It was a pain in the butt. Let me tell you something,
I'll
people.
promise you, I get my peanut shells off of there every single time.
Make
I'm
sure you
sitting in
clean.
front of it. I
Don't
promise
even
you
step
I'll do
on
it.
it because I don't want to ever have to do that again.
Oh man. Well, we're gonna move on to one of our better segments here that we like to do. Don't have a lot of juice for this, but we're too addicted to not do this. We're gonna do Are You Out of Your Mind?
Are you out of your mind?
You out of your mind.
I actually remembered it this week too.
Did you really?
Yes,
You're gonna
I
help
did.
us out here? All right. Well, we're gonna hit up this little guy here. A couple weeks ago, the backup running back in Kansas City, Niles Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he thinks he's pretty good, and that's good. You should be confident in your skills.
Gotta be.
But he basically feels there's no difference between him and Jamal Charles. Really doesn't matter who's back there. He's just as good. Are you out of your
You
mind?
out of here. I couldn't even say it. I was laughing too hard. I'm sorry.
Jamal Charles is probably one of the most well-known fantasy football players over the last, what would you say, Spence? You're a big fantasy guy. 6-7 years?
Yeah, he's done at least that, and he wants to play at least 6 more, he said.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Niles Davis.
You're out of your mind, dude.
You're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind, dude.
Okay, so Bills unfortunately weren't able to, unfortunately and fortunately at the same time, re-sign Brandon Spikes. I really felt he was, a good presence on this defense last year. So we didn't re-sign him. And he goes back to New England for about a couple hours.
Yeah.
And then he got into a car accident. And he abandoned his car at the scene. Are you out of your mind?
What are you doing?
Brandon Spikes.
Come on, man.
He was funny on Twitter too. I mean, one of the best Bills follows last year for sure, and he hasn't had much to say lately because people like to give him the 1-2 every time he's got something to say. So
Yeah, he's
have fun with that, buddy.
Yeah, I don't. They're human. That's all I can say. Sometimes I say I don't understand. They can make these decisions. They're human.
They're rich humans who can have drivers drive them anywhere they want.
Anywhere they want. All right. Oh, I'm gonna go get drunk today. I can afford to take a cab from here to New York City.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna drive.
Out of his mind, dude.
You might
Yeah,
have made
it
a
is.
steal on the field, but you're not behind the wheel.
You're right about that.
Lastly, for the Audio Mind segment, the Korean News were very happy to see that the Stanley Cup was won
Yeah.
by South Buffalo's own Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
So much so that they said the Chicago Bears have won the Stanley Cup. Hooray!
Bears.
Bears,
They
South
won
Korea.
Bears.
Are you out of your mind?
What were they watching? Too many reruns of like Saturday Night Live or something like that? Come on.
The Bears.
What happened with that? I mean,
Oh boy.
I don't even understand how you make that mistake. I mean, I don't know.
well, maybe it's because they're so far away.
But they have somebody that writes the article.
Yeah.
Then there's an editor that it's like 3 people before it gets to print. But then again, they're all over
I
there.
don't know.
Congrats to
There's
Patty Kane though.
Yep, congrats Patty Kane.
Showed
and,
up in Game 6 for sure, baby. That was nice.
For the Blackhawks.
Third.
Yes, Chicago Blackhawks. won the Cup.
Blackhawks. And even though some people here aren't a fan, and I'm not even the biggest fan, I do want to say congratulations to the Golden State Warriors for winning the NBA championship in 6 games.
They managed to do it without the greatest athlete in the world, LeBron.
Yeah, absolutely the greatest.
LeBron did not have a bad game. I mean, a bad series. He had actually a very good series, but he's with J.R. Reed shit the bed. Excuse my language. He didn't
They had,
perform.
They had 8 deep. They had 3 subs, and Mike Miller was one of them. If you don't think that was one of the greatest performances in basketball history, then you don't know anything.
Who, Golden
about
State?
basketball. No, LeBron. Congratulations, you beat the YMCA team and LeBron. I mean, let's be honest. It was was Mozgov had a nice game,
Right.
won.
Right.
Dellavedova had 1 nice game. That's it. The guys that they brought in, Shumpert, I think that injury really hurt him early. And after that, LeBron averaged 38 points, 13 rebounds and 8 assists.
Double doubles and
Triple
triples.
almost a
triple
triple double
exactly.
averaged. Look, I'm a LeBron homer. They'll be back. They have two guys that were on the bench that were all-stars that if had they played, everybody knows it would have been a completely different series. If one of them played.
I agree. I agree with you 100%.
Don't say but.
I'm not the biggest basketball fan.
Nope.
I will say that. But I do have to
Spit it out.
spit it out.
You want me to finish? I do have to give it out to
Curry is the man.
Oh, okay.
Curry is the man.
Why didn't he win the MVP Finals if he was?
I'm not saying that he's better than LeBron. I didn't say that.
Good.
I'm just saying that he's a heck of a player.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
I mean, there's not much to not like about that team. They're awesome. They're fun to watch. They run. They play defense. They play together. They're a cohesive unit. But like I said, the East always brings that toughness to it. And if they were deep enough to have some guys come off the bench and play more minutes, it would have been a completely different series.
One thing I did have to ask about Cleveland, and again, I'm not the biggest basketball guy. Kevin Love, doesn't he play for them?
He was hurt. He
was
got hurt in
hurt.
the first round against the Celtics.
Okay.
He separated his shoulder. He was done.
Gotcha.
Then
Gotcha.
Kyrie got hurt.
Yeah.
Game one. So
Right.
you got your two. You know, you got to have
Right.
that three.
Yeah.
Like most
Yeah.
solid NBA teams
Yeah.
have.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they didn't have it.
And
But
that's why the Cleveland Cavaliers lost the Super Bowl.
yes,
Yes, and that's
Korea.
exactly
I was
why.
reading
way
the
to
Korean
go,
news.
Korea.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna change this subject because if I say another thing about Golden State, Paul might just me.
No, I'll say this: they were third for one of the best to the Bulls teams that won 80+ games. I mean, Golden State won 82 games this year. I'm not taking anything away from them. They were awesome.
Yeah.
And it would have just been fun to see, because they're going to play against each other again. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
If LeBron stays in Cleveland, it's going to turn into, Oakland versus Cleveland, which is cool. That's a nice thing, because now they have that rivalry going against each other, and we'll see what happens.
And it's good not to see, a change of pace, not to see the same teams.
Right.
The Lakers.
Same guy, though. That's LeBron's 5th finals in a row, which is crazy to even think about, too.
Yeah,
And he
it is.
only won 2 of them.
Yeah, well,
But that's how it goes.
there it is.
Well, while we're off topic from the football, we're going to stay with that. And we're going to talk a little bit of golf. This week, Paul writes for the BuffaloVibe.com, and he put an interesting article out there. And Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I'm sure now that if you had an opportunity to watch some of the U.S. Open this week out at Chambers Bay, which is in Washington, a little south of Tacoma, way up in what I like to call Twilight Town, right around where they filmed a lot of that stuff. Anyway, it's a beautiful scene for a golf course. Unfortunately, in my opinion, they turned it into what's a link-style course, which they're bringing over from Europe to basically model it and turn it into a course that you would find over there, which is cool to go and play a link-style course, because everyone knows the British Open is played on a link-style course every single year. You'll tune in at 9 o'clock in the morning to watch because of the time difference, and you'll see the wind coming off of the ocean and all of the heather and everything that you see over there. They put it over here, and we're playing our championship on a course that looks exactly like theirs.
Where's the home field advantage?
Well, not only that, it just takes away from what I think makes it an American thing. Last year was at Pinehurst, which is one of the most incredible and difficult courses in America. But it's American, and it's been there for a long time. It has a lot of history. Payne Stewart won there. It was, the year that Payne Stewart had crashed and died in that plane crash. It was the year he won the U.S. Open there. So, getting back on topic, Chambers Bay is beautiful, has an incredible landscape. It's got undulating fairways and greens and things like that. But it has one tree, and it's behind one of the tees. It's not even in the way of any of your shots.
Wow.
Now, you go out there's a lot of bunkers, and there's a lot of heather, and there's a lot of bad shots that you're going to have. But that's exactly the same types of shots that we're going to see next month when we go out and we play, when the pros play at the old course at St. Andrews in Scotland, which is going to end up looking a lot like the course they're playing this week.
No, for someone like me, that's not the biggest golf fan. I do like watching golf.
Sure.
But what is a links style course?
It is a very wide open yet protected golf course that has what's called heather and some higher rough and some difficult shots out of bunkers that maybe, when you see the bunkers, you see the guys just hit it out and they get on there.
Yeah.
These bunkers are down. They're pot bunkers. They're deep into the ground, which make it almost impossible to advance the ball whatsoever. There isn't a lot of water that comes into play that's going to get you into trouble and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The things that are get you into trouble are the lies that you're going to have. You're going to have shots where you can't see the green. You're going to have shots where the wind's 40 miles an hour coming off of the water. And, link style comes from the links in Scotland and Ireland and over across the pond. And again, I love playing links golf. It's one of my strengths when I play. It's one of the things I like to do. It's just I don't understand why we would make our championship to look like one of theirs when honestly in golf it's US versus Europe in the end of the season in the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup, and that's just the way that we like it. So
All right. Well, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. You can always check Paul's articles at buffalovibe.com or follow him on Twitter. He always reposts them there too. Paul, what's your handle at Twitter?
PMX Crawley Jr. at twitter.com, and I'm always talking Bills, always talking golf, and always got a wisecrack for guys like Michael here who
What I do?
need to be led down the path every once in a while.
You heard it here first. Paul's got a wide crack for Mike. Yeah. Now we're going to move on to fantasy football talk. All right. We always love this one at the end of the show. Last week we did a nice little draft for the QBs, and this week we're going to do some tight ends, which is tough because it's usually only about 2, maybe 3 studs at most, and then it gets real dicey at that point. Who are you taking? You don't know. It's a roll of dice. So we're gonna everybody work out your draft list here.
I'm ready.
Paul's ready. Paul's ready.
I'll go first.
What? Wait a minute. How come you get to go first?
Okay, then I'll go last.
No. I'm not saying go last either. I think we need to just kind of have our producer randomly tell us who's going.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
We're just gonna wait for him to put a name up there.
All right, Ralphie, go ahead and show us the juice here. What's going on? Who's going first?
Mickey? Is that a Mickey?
That's Mike.
Go ahead.
All
That's
right.
my okay.
Mike gets the first pick overall.
Oh.
Remember, this is a snake draft, so it's going to reverse order after the third pick,
Okay.
and vice versa.
Yeah, you went first last week, so I guess it's fair. I'll go first. We'll go boom this way, and then back around. I'm gonna go with Jimmy Graham.
You're going Jimmy Graham.
I'm going Jimmy Graham.
First pick overall.
Yep.
You don't think the transition in Seattle is going to give him some lower numbers?
Not really.
No?
No, not really at all.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good thing for him going over. I think it might even. No, he's consistent. He's a good ball player. I'm not worried about the pick.
All right, who's next, kid?
Who's next? We a drum roll or something?
Paul.
Paul.
I'll
You're
take
number
Gronk
2. He's going
all
Gronk.
day.
All
He's
day.
going to score 13 touchdowns next year, at least.
Yeah, that's an easy
Hopefully,
choice.
2 against the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, one against the Bills.
Oh, come on, dude, that's Gronk. I'm not. 2 would be fine with me.
One each game.
That's 2.
Okay, as long as we're doing one each game.
All right, Spence, what do you got?
Well, now that the only 2 obvious guys are off the board, this is where it gets real thin, real dicey. I'm just going to have to play it safe. I'm going to have to go Greg Olsen in Carolina. I'm hoping they just kind of pick up where he left off last year. He was very reliable. He was very consistent. Had some big games, but never had really a bad game. So you knew you were set there.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's going to catch some balls.
Not as good as your 2 picks, obviously, but I'll tell you what, I'll take that third all day long.
Okay, what's your 4th?
My 4th, that's right, I get 2 in a row. Well, I think I'm going to go... I'm going to get a little dicey here. I'm going to say he plays a full healthy season. I'm going to go Antonio Gates.
Ooh, jumped down a little bit on that one.
Yeah, I did. I'll tell you why. Everybody's leery because he's getting older.
He's getting older.
He does miss some games.
Mm-hmm.
But I think last year he proved that he can still put up some good numbers. And as long as he's on the field, and I think he's going to do it this year. And I think Philip Rivers, since it's his last year of his contract, he's going to be hitting him a lot, putting up some big numbers. This could result in a good year for him.
That's right. I mean, he was great last year. He won me some ball games.
Mm-hmm.
I love, in fantasy especially, having that West Coast guy who can score some touchdowns. he's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
So I'm fifth. I'm going to take Julius Thomas because he's going to light it up for sure this year. Even though he's going to that terrible team, I still think that he will be someone that's going to catch a lot of passes and complain about it throughout the entire season, which will be fine with me. Because, I mean, as a receiver or a tight end, that's what you want. You want a guy that wants the ball. So that would be who I would take there.
You think that helps out Blake Bortles?
It doesn't hurt. Having a guy like that on that team is always going to push your guys to play better no matter what anyway. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with, let's see who I'm looking at. Two people here. Well, I got two in a row now, don't I?
Why don't you take
Yes,
a ball?
you do.
So I think I'm gonna take them both. Travis Kelce, is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, Kels. I think it's just
Kels? Is it just Kels?
I could be wrong.
From Kansas City.
He's good.
He's good. Kansas City's gonna have another decent year, so he's definitely gonna put up some numbers. And seeing as how we took Clay, Jordan Cameron's gonna get a lot more airtime for Miami.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with him.
Going Cameron?
Yeah, yes I am.
All right.
I'm going to take Clay because I think he's going to catch some balls for us. And, that's a sneaker one right there. Late pick right there.
I'd take him.
Obviously, having these guys already off the board,
Mhm.
he's worth it. I love having a Bill on the team that I can cheer for. Last year for me, it was Robert Woods.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually, he caught some balls for me that were huge late in the season. So, again, that would be my pick right there is Clay, only because I want to have a Bill on my roster, and that would be it.
I think that's an excellent pick. I don't know how it slipped my mind, but that one slipped my mind. I would have definitely jumped on that one.
Well, he slipped from the team from the guy that you picked, so
You're
maybe
right.
you
It
should have
just
thought
didn't-
about that.
And I didn't say I was the brightest bulb in the bunch.
Spence, you got two in a row, baby.
I got
Who are
2
you
in a
gonna
row.
Finish it with?
2 in a row. I'm going to go Martellus Bennett from Chicago.
Nice.
Yeah, I think this late in the draft.
Tore the
that's a
Bills
steal.
up in that opener last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think with Brandon Marshall being gone, he's going to be relied on a little bit more, so he'll be a little more consistent. And after that, I had to pick one of the Colts tight ends. I think the Colts offense is going to be a machine this year.
Just not working in the first week.
Yeah, right. First week, they got to get their kinks out, and they're
Right.
going to be getting their butts wiped all over the field there. But I'm going to go Dwayne Allen over Colby Fleener.
Like that.
Yeah, he's going to get all the TDs, I think. Fleener's going to put up good numbers too, but I think Dwayne Allen's got the edge there.
And then he's good down in that red zone. He's going to score some touchdowns for them for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a great draft, boys. Very nice.
I think so.
Are we gonna round it out like we did last week with the 12? We're just gonna go right there.
No, we're
the
good.
top 10
We're
is
good.
nice.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's pretty good.
Is there 12 good tight ends in the league?
No,
Did I
right.
say that?
Yeah, after that, you're starting to get
You
a
start
little
to drop
weird.
off.
Yeah.
You do got Witten, who's pretty consistent.
There was someone that we did say, an ex-Bill, that is now playing for the enemy.
Yeah, but he won't get that many picks to be. He'll be a good backup. tight
Chandler
end.
could be someone that makes some noise down around that goal line. You know that the Pats like to pack it in real tight down there at the
That
end.
is- that
And I
is-
didn't say that to be funny, but it came out that way.
Deflated.
All right.
Come
Come on, let's do some shout-outs.
Let's do some shout outs. Who's up?
All right. I'm gonna give a shout out today to Bills for Life, Mark Hoppy, and everybody in the Bills Mafia for supporting us. Much love to all of you guys out there. A shout out to Roly Poly.
What'd you call him?
I'm really talking about you just because you feel a little insecure there about yourself there. But Roly Poly, if you want some of the greatest sandwiches, go check them out on Main Street, right between Virginia and Tupper. And also I want to give a shout out to House of Vapors, houseofvapors.com, 4 locations located in Buffalo. And they're there for all of your vaping needs. And am I missing anybody, you guys?
I want to give a shout out to Carlos for finally making it here. It only took about 6 weeks to come back.
And he forgot the food.
Carlos is our marketing guy.
Our marketing guy. He's
forgot
supposed
the
to be
food.
bringing pizza today.
Yeah.
Still at the pizza place.
Still at the pizza place.
It's all right, Carlos. Next time, baby.
We still love you.
Shout out to Buffalo Vibe, who keeps running my stories. I don't know why, but pretty great. My man Eric, keep it going. Kavan, love you guys.
I want to do one more shout out
There you go.
to all the Bills fans. You guys are the best. You bring it every week.
You stole my last shout out.
Did I really?
Yes, you did.
Let's get it to 60,000. Let's make it to that cap.
do it.
That's what I really
Let's
want.
do it.
Yeah.
60,000 cap. We got to do it.
Because we have some of the greatest fans, if not the greatest fans, in the league. And yes, definitely a big shout out to all the Bills fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Nice job.
Nice job. All right,
And
guys.
okay, Buffalo. We'll see you next week.
All right, you've been watching Bills Talk Online with,
Paul Crown.
Mike Martinez.
and I'm Spencer Tobin. Thanks. Bam! See you guys next week. Are you out of your mind?
Are you out of your mind?